Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. Today we are checking out the SOG Tangle. We got a tabletop and some field testing, so stay tuned. You're going to enjoy, I believe, this for 2013 knife review. So what we got here is a very interesting blade. Really like that blade design, slight drop point there. Give you the basic specs. You got an actual cutting edge of 3.5, so 3.5 inches actual cutting edge, and then you have from tip to where the paracord starts is 4 inches. It is 0.19 inches thick, so very nice thick blade there, made out of Chinese made 9 CR18 MOV. Rockwell hardness is 58 to 60. A little bit of an upgrade over the Aus-8 and the Rockwell hardness. We'll talk about it in a second. Hollow grind, obviously, like I said, slight drop point. Skeletonized, 7 feet of paracord is already attached to the handle when it comes out of the box. Kydex sheath, belt clip. Weighs in at 5.5 ounces. Knife itself, you're going to look at about 3 ounces more with the sheath, so a total of about 8 to 9 ounces total carry weight. So those are the basic specs for us. Let's go ahead and just kind of jump on into this review and see where we go from here. As you can see here from the shape of the blade, I mean, this is a great utility knife, great skinner, hunting knife, utility, whatever, slicing capability. This knife, this Tangle, is going to do a great job. Great amount of belly, that very slight drop point. Hollow grind, like I said, I prefer either saber flat grinds or full flat grinds, but SOG seems to do a really good job with their hollow grinds, and this came razor sharp out of the box. You got a really good tip there. Very durable into that really nice thick spine all the way the whole length of the knife. So that's really awesome. What I'd like to do now is jump into some field testing so you can kind of see it in action, and then I'll wrap up with my kind of overall impressions of the knife. The SOG Tangle just goes right through this 1-ton rated paracord that you see here. It's 2,000 pounds rated, about 3 times as thick as normal paracord. And man, this Tangle with that belly and just the razor sharpness that we know from SOG, I mean, this knife is hair popping sharp out of the box. You're going to be able to slice through man-made materials very easily, no effort at all through your webbing, your molly gear, seat belt, something like that. This Tangle is going to do a great job, and just, without even thinking about it, it's going to slice through that with just that awesome belly. Even though it's a super thick blade, you're going to be able to do some awesome slicing capability with the SOG Tangle. Well, this Tangle, as I use it here, if you're just sitting around a campfire or you're just whittling, making a spear, tent peg, a trap, something like that, you can just see how well it is just dominating this piece of wood. It is slicing like crazy, and it's just comfortable to use. I love that design where it's nice and flat all the way along the spine. There's no, thumb ramps and other things to deal with. The jimping on the spine is awesome. Really nice wide spine so that I can really get some really good control on that knife with plenty of room to spare on the handle. You can see there, got plenty of room, and I wear large size gloves. And I can just slice and carve like this all day long. And then if I want to go to kind of more of a reverse grip, again, has really good control. I don't prefer hollow grinds, which is what this has, but it does a job well. I prefer either saber grinds or full flat grinds, but you can see that this thing is still working great. Just slicing through the wood like crazy. And just comfortable to use. That's what I keep thinking of. That's what I keep, just imagining as I'm using this. I'm like, man, this is comfortable. And I'm not a big fan of paracord wrapping knives. Knives that have paracord handles. I'm not a big fan. I much prefer G10 or micarta handle scales. That's definitely the way I want to go usually. But this is not bad for paracord wrap. And a lot of you guys I know out there really like paracord wrap. And you're going to be able to really just get some good control. And you're going to really like using this knife around a campsite, for your carving, whittling type of task. Look at that. I've just destroyed this piece of wood with the SOG Tangle. So this SOG Tangle, for this type of, fire starting, carving, feather stick making type of stuff is very comfortable. I like using it. I love the blade design of that knife, you know, just the huge, massive amount of belly. It's good, it's razor sharp, that super thick spine again with the jimping. Just lends itself to be very comfortable as I use it. The handle is plenty large enough, kind of got this little finger guard down in here that I can get my index finger in, lock it into place, and really go to town on this piece of wood. So when it comes to like the carving type of stuff, man, this Tangle, I'm really surprised. I really wasn't expecting it. You know, it's gonna, look at this. I mean, just the amount of wood I'm getting here. I'm gonna be able to get the tinder for a fire going really easy with this SOG Tangle. I'm getting really good penetration with this Tangle. You can see there, it's very durable, good tip on there. I mean, I'm getting some really good penetration, guys, like an inch and a half to almost 2 inches. Really nice strong tip there. My hand is locked into place. I'm not riding down and wanting to come down on the blade. So if you are using this as a military or just self-defense tool, you know, you're going to be able to lock in and really go to town and, you know, be able to defend yourself if you need to, and not worry about, you know, chipping the tip or you sliding down and hurting yourself. You're really locked in, really nice, and I really dig that with this Tangle. So you could definitely use this in a, you know, self-defense, fighting, slashing, stabbing type of format very easily without worrying about the quality of the tip or the sliding down and traction that you're going to get out of this knife and the paracord handle that you have there. So there you go. Really performed well out there in the woods, and just kind of doing some hard uses on it. You know, that tip test was awesome, so you are going to definitely be able to do, you know, self-defense, stabbing, you know, against an enemy, a combatant. You're going to be able to penetrate well, pry well. That's really, really nice. It's going to slice through your cord. You're going to be able to do your feathering and carving well. You got that really nice set of jimping like I talked about. Very nice, and I love this profile, like I said, of just nice and flat. You can put your thumb, you know, you're holding the knife, you can put your thumb wherever you want and not really worry about it. You get okay traction here with the paracord. I don't, again, really care for paracord wraps. They're not my favorite. I don't, you know, look for paracord wrap knives. I much prefer either my Carter or G10 handle scales or some sort of handle scale. Much prefer that, but it is balanced well right there over that finger groove, and they pitch it to you also as a throwing knife. They're like, hey, if you want to throw your knife, sure, do it. I'm not into throwing knives. I just don't have a reason to it, and why would I throw a perfectly good knife out of my hands? So you could use it as a throwing knife, though, if you really wanted to, have some fun around your campsite, on your wilderness treks or whatever. And you do have, again, that 7 feet of paracord. If you ever got stranded, you can, you know, unwrap it and use it for different things. You got that nice finger groove in there, locks you into place. I got full-size gloves. Sorry, not full-size. Large. I wear large-sized gloves, and you can see I got plenty of room to spare there. Got that really nice big lanyard hole if you did want to put a lanyard on there and keep the paracord on as well. So that's nice. Feels good in your hand. Again, not a super big fan of paracord, but it does the job well. I wouldn't recommend this for hunting in this format, just because paracord, you know, the blood and guts, it's going to get all over that paracord, make it start to stink and get really kind of disgusting. So unless you're going to take the paracord off and use it as a hunting knife in that format, I really wouldn't recommend it for hunting, but it is a great skinner if you did. Just the blade design lends itself to do that really well. The steel. Let's talk about the steel here for a second. The 9CR18 MOV out of China. Yep, I'm sorry, guys. Stamped in really small right there. It says China. Now, you know, I love SOG's OS 8 steel that they use on almost all their knives. Their SOG Seal Pup, you know, this Northwest Ranger, the Flash 2, the Flash 1, the Aegis. All those knives have the OS 8, and I love it. SOG does a great job with their heat treatment. It's got a good Rockwell hardness of 57 to 58. I've found that it just works really well and is great. You know, normal budget type of steel. The OS 8 that SOG produces is great. Now, what they've tried to do with this, with the 9CR18 MOV, it is a stainless steel, is they've tried to cut cost and give us a higher quality steel over the OS 8 with a higher Rockwell hardness, 58 to 60, which means it is going to keep its edge for a longer period of time to be a slightly more durable in that sense. So I get that. The problem is with that Rockwell hardness and just this particular type of steel, I found when it comes time to resharpen really any stainless versus high carbon knives are always a little easier to get an edge on. But this high-end Chinese steel is pretty difficult to get a fine edge on. Now you can resharpen it, not too bad, and it's not too hard to do that. But you can't get a hair-popping sharp edge back on it once it's dulled without some really good, just lots of work to it. It's very difficult to get a fine hair-popping edge back on the knife once it's dulled. You can do it. It's just going to take longer than say 8CR13 MOV, the AUS-8 steel, or even VG10 and some of those other steels. Those will take a finer edge quicker than this Chinese-made 9CR18 MOV. So it's pluses and minuses. I wish that it was still made in Japan out of the AUS-8. I just love AUS-8. They could have made this an AUS-8 and it would have been perfect. They're trying to upgrade the steel and cut down on price by buying it from China with a higher grade, Rockwell hardness and toughness to the blade. Let's go ahead and talk about the sheath here really quick. You got a Kydex sheath, very nice, multiple lashing points. A little tiny drainage hole down there. This is BLADEHQ compatible. You can lock your BLADEHQ lock to this very easily if you want to use that. It does come also with this clip, which is a boot clip, so you can just screw it in right here, or you can carry it horizontal if you like carrying your knives horizontal. It'll go through those two points right there, and you could carry it horizontal along your pack or whatever, however you'd want to. So it's just sweet, and I really appreciate the fact that they did send us a really nice, durable belt clip or boot clip with this knife. Then you got your nylon drop leg strap. It's got Velcro right here, opens up to be very large, big. You get a full-size tactical belt on there, no problem. And you got the button and Velcro lashing that we know from SOG. They do a great job with that. So you just put the knife into place, clicks in. That's just the button here. There is no rattle. Sorry, that's just the buttons in the back. There isn't any rattle at the moment. It's okay secure in there. It's not like, it doesn't click in. It's in there tight because of the paracord and some of the other, just retention points, but it's not locked in like say an SE3 or a RAT3 or something like that, which is still in that same kind of ballpark size range. So you can't but you do have a really good thumb ramp. You just push off, boom, slides right out. If you are carrying it drop leg or around your belt, you just Velcro it into place. Holds it up here. I always prefer straps to be down here around the guard of the knife. It just makes it so you can really lock it in there tight. You can see though, as I pull, the blade is not coming out as I pull. You can't get it to come out and show. So it works. It's operational. You got the drop leg. There it is, hanging on your belt or however you want to carry it. You can bring it in, have it wear a little higher, or lash it all sorts of different ways with either paracord, BLADEHQ locks, or the belt clip or boot clip that they give you. So overall impressions of this Tangle. Well, I was surprised. I wasn't really expecting a lot because I don't like the paracord wrap. I know a lot of you guys out there do, and I know this is a new knife for 2013, so I wanted to show you guys what you're getting when you purchase a Tangle. In that size of, RAT3s, SE3s, top tactical steak knife, those type of small to 3.5 inch blade knives, it's not bad. And I like that SOG's getting into that realm. I would like to have seen this come with AUS-8 steel and like maybe G10 handle scales, not Kraton. G10 handle scales would have been nice. Then I would have been a lot more excited about this. It's not a bad knife though, don't get me wrong. And if you're looking for a good utility knife that you can also throw, if you did want to get into throwing knives or whatever, this is going to do that well for you. And it is going to be a great 3.5 inch utility slash tactical type of fighting knife if that's what you're looking for and that's what you're into. The SOG Tangle will do that job very well. It's going to penetrate well, slice well, hold up well, hold an edge well. It's just going to be a little difficult to get a fine edge back on it, and at the moment, they don't make any handle scales. If they came out with handle scales in the future, I would be a little bit more pumped about this, but for a lot of you out there, a lot of you guys subscribing and watching this channel, I know you like your paracord wraps around your BK14s and your different knives out there, your Benchmade, Adamus, fixed blade. You like your paracord wraps around your knives, so this is going to be definitely right up your alley. You won't regret it. And for right around the $50 mark is what it's going for, and then you can get the blacked out tinny version for around $60 is what it is right now as of mid 2013. That is the price point. I'm sure it'll go down a little bit over time, and you'll probably be able to find them. I would say probably around the $50 to $40 mark, just depending on where you buy it from, and who, what, when, where, why. That's probably what you're going to be paying, and for the price point, not a bad knife. So hopefully this has helped you guys out. Thanks for watching. Stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.